Welcome everyone. This is Lindsay Gramont, the Homemade Mommy. I blog over at homemademommy.net and am a Royal Crown Diamond with Young Living. And today I have a very special guest. I'm so excited. I want everyone to have a chance to get in here before I formally introduce our guest here. See you in January. It's exciting. So everyone, let me know where you guys are watching from, and please invite your followers and share on Facebook and share on Twitter and all the great things. And I'm going to promise you that this is going to be an awesome 30 minutes of your time today. So we are sitting in my home in Austin, Texas. I see we've got folks from Washington, Los Angeles, Florida,
cool.
All kinds of places. I hope you guys can... Austin, yay! Hello, Austin. Yes. And El Paso. I'm from El Paso.
Cool.
So super exciting. We've got folks jumping in here. Let's get this up over 100. All right. We are also, if you are an oily angel, I'm doing a little giveaway around this, so you're definitely going to want to share this and make sure you pay attention and get out your notebooks and take notes, guys, so that you guys can hear and be educated for the time that you're spending today. So I don't know if you're folding laundry or you've got kids screaming around, but I would go get some paper out and make sure that you take some notes. Today, our special guest is Brian Niederhaus from SmarterNetworker.com. I know all of you guys on my team are very familiar with SmarterNetworker.com. Yep. That is where you get access to the 30-day boot camp from Danny Johnson, as well as our awesome Home Success Bundle and all the great calls through the pro memberships and everything that you guys have. But Brian is here today, and I love Brian. I'm so glad that he reached out to me and we were able to meet yesterday, and that he agreed to come back down here to do this exciting scope for everyone today. And he's new to Periscope, so I want you guys to comment a lot and really show him what it's all about, because he's thinking he might want to use it more with Smarter Networker, and I know you guys would love that. So, let him know that you are excited to see him. Thank you so much for all that you do. I think that everyone has gotten some amazing resources from you, and I'm really so thankful that you guys have that website. So give everybody a little more flavor of what you do, and let us know what we're going to discuss today.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much for having me on. This is my very first Periscope, and totally fun and having fun with this. So, thanks everybody for jumping on. Man, a bunch of folks on already, and I really thank you, Lindsay, for opening up your team and letting us talk to your members and stuff. It's been really an honor to meet your amazing people in your business, and Young Living is just such an awesome company too. It's so cool to get a chance to work with some of you guys. And Smarter Networker, if you haven't been plugged in yet, it's basically a Danny Johnson's home-based business portal. So all of her home business training's over there. And it's a place where you can plug in and get free training. You can get access to all of our home business products, and then there's all kinds of events that we're doing. And today we're going to be talking about first steps to success coming up in January, and kind of what you can expect at that event. I know a lot of you, this is your very first one, and so this is going to be a ton of fun, and we're going to have a blast at that event. I just want to kind of give you a heads up on all the things that are going on.
Yeah, so how many people watching right now comment with the word bacon if you are coming to First Steps to Success in January in Orlando? I want to see the word bacon coming up a lot of times here, because we've got, 150 something people in here. Right. So see lots of bacon.
Wow, that's so cool. I love this. Do you eat bacon?
Do I eat bacon? No comment.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed you would have, but so cool. So awesome. Well, should I just
cool. Let us know what they want to get a behind the scenes look and kind of understand what to expect when they're there, and let them know maybe some of the things that they may not know even from me. So.
Right. Okay. So First Steps is a 3-day training. It's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I know a lot of folks have plugged in for just the first 2 days. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But this is Danny Johnson's premier event, in the sense that it gives her an opportunity to teach all of the things that she talks about in her life. And the cool thing about Danny is that she teaches from experience. She goes out and makes mistakes and learns from those, and then that becomes part of her training and stuff. And so the good news is she's had massive success in really all areas of her life, and she's also had big failures in a lot of areas of her life. In business, she started out in network marketing company and failed miserably for a while, and then had massive success. She's had big struggles in personal relationships. She grew up in a crazy lifestyle, and they've been able to turn all that around and now have incredible wealth, but also, more importantly, really time freedom, and then great relationships with the people in her life. And so she teaches on that stuff, and it's a ton of fun. So day one is all about kind of figuring out what's holding you back, possibly, and getting rid of that stuff and moving forward. Some really cool personal training from Danny, and like things that she did to really get past some major issues she was having. Day two is a couple of core skills. Learn how to get out of debt and manage your money better. If you are in debt, it's fixable,
Yes.
you know. And for folks that aren't in debt, you're going to go into stuff that's going to help you keep more of your money, create more wealth, that kind of thing. And then one of my favorite ones is also the GEMS training, is usually on Sunday, which is the personalities training that Danny developed over the years. And man, it's so much fun. It's one of my favorite. It's everybody's favorite,
Yes.
kind of thing.
Yes, I mean, just from my experience, I've been to 2 of these events, and on the first day, I got a lot of surprising feedback from the first day when I had, I don't know, about 12 folks at the second event. They were saying they did not expect what happened on the first day. Lots of very emotional release kind of stuff, forgiveness, very impactful to move you ahead in your business.
Right.
So, I mean, you kind of have to get rid of all that stuff before you can move forward. So you kind of skimmed over that, but I just wanted to point out that is such a huge day.
I don't want to scare the guys away,
No. No, it was very, very good. And the debt training, I mean, you will learn on day 2, basically the skills that will make you aware that you basically have paid for your trip and then some immediately.
Exactly. And then I forgot to also mention on Saturday night, Danny does what she calls spiritual equipping as well. So she does an optional training, but it's a really cool part of the event. So if you're gonna just plan on long days. So Saturday we start at 9 o'clock in the morning. A lot of people are in line super early, like 4 a.m. to get up in the front section seat. We're gonna kind of give you a tip on how to bypass all that here in a second. So that's something you're going to plan on. So bring water, bring snacks, bring comfortable clothing. It is business dress the first day, but it doesn't have to be super formal or anything. And then because the first day can go from 9 a.m. till 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night sometimes. Right. So it can be a very, very long day. It doesn't always go that long, and again, it's totally optional on the evening session. And then Sunday, we start usually at 10 a.m., so a little extra sleep time. And then normal day, we go till about 5, 6 o'clock at night. And then Sunday night, we have our Smarter Networker Sunday Shindig. For everybody that plugged in through Smarter Networker and bought your ticket through Smarter Networker, we have a little get-together. We kind of get to relax and get to know you a little bit better and spend some quality time together. It's a relatively small group. We have some, beer and wine and drinks just to hang out and some snacks and things. And, it's a fun time. You guys can ask questions and we can just kind of get to chat a little bit. So that's a lot of fun. That can go late also, but again, it's just something we do. And then Monday is the entrepreneur workshop, and this is my very favorite day of the whole weekend, because this is where Danny goes through all the things that she did to become successful. And one of the biggest things that Danny is so amazing at is that she runs today, multiple companies. She's got 3 or 4 different companies that she runs, and her husband has several companies as well. So they're super busy, but when she's working, she'll do 20 hours a week max. And right now, this time, this season she's been in this last year and all of this year, she's really working maybe 5 to 10 hours a week to run all these companies, right? Doing millions of dollars in business, right? And the reason she's able to do this, 2 things. One, she raises up leadership that can, kind of drive these companies, and she manages those people. But more importantly, she has a system in place that and this is what she teaches on Monday. It's so exciting. So if you're in a home-based business and maybe you got in and things kind of took off, and now you're working 50 hours a week or 60 hours a week, because this business can do that. I mean, all the people start Lindsay, what do you do for this? Oh, this person, can you call this person? Can you talk to this? Can you do this presentation? And pretty soon you've got 1 million people pulling and tugging on you. How do you get past all that? And that's where Danny shines. I mean, that's what Monday's all about, is learning the system, the process that Danny put together to avoid all that and to really be efficient. And it's really interesting because if you look at it as a whole thing,
You guys need that?
yeah, exactly. If you look at it as a whole thing, it starts with the very first conversation you have with somebody, and then all the steps you take along the process, seven different steps along the way. It's every one of them can either be something that's going to make it easier for you or harder for you. And so if you take the right approach to each one, you get to the end and you're working, 10 to 20 hours a week. Your business is growing. You've got independent distributors in your business. Independent being the key word here, and that's what's exciting about Monday. And so if you haven't yet signed up for Monday,
there's a question there. So the first steps to success is for anyone with a small business, any kind of entrepreneur, anyone who's looking to be successful with their work, or even people who their work is being a pastor or something like that in the clergy. So it's for anybody. What we're talking about right now with the Monday add-on is the Home Entrepreneur Workshop on Monday, and that is for home-based businesses. But the Saturday and Sunday is for any kind of business. I mean, you could be running a gym or a restaurant or whatever.
And actually, Monday, they recently changed the name from Home Business Entrepreneur Workshop just to Entrepreneur Workshop. And the reason is because so many people in small business, even in some bigger corporations, they love the information that's there. Danny made her first millions in home-based business, but she's since built several traditional businesses too, using the same exact principles. So at times she relates it more to her home-based business. Other times she relates it to her traditional businesses. But it's good for everybody in business for sure. But it's very much going to relate to a home business. But a lot of folks, again, probably half the room there is in something other than a network marketing company.
Cool. And how many people do you think are going to come to this January?
Well, we're already over 1,000 registered, so we're probably, we just broke that number yesterday. So most likely, the room is full at 1,500. January is always a big event, we know that. So I have a feeling we're going to be sold out, actually, like legitimately, can't get in. Yeah. Probably in the first few days of January, that period after Christmas, before the New Year's. I think that's going to be huge, and I'll be surprised if we make it all the way to the event without completely selling it out. So 1,500 people is the number, and most likely we will be fully sold out on that. We're already 2/3 sold out. So
in LA, it was like maybe 500 people.
Yeah, well, it was like 750. So I mean, January is always the big event, but actually lately we've been, it's looking like we're going to have some big events all year long. But so there's a couple things with a crowd that size. There's a couple ways to kind of get through it and sneak through it. And by the way, Monday's a smaller thing, so usually about half the people stay for Monday. So it's about 750, 700, something like that will be on the Monday event. So it's a much more intimate event. But there's a couple of things you can do. There's something called a FastTrack pass, which I think is the most important thing, especially for the first-time people. The reason it's going to put you into the room 15 to 20 minutes ahead of everybody else. There's usually about 20% of the crowd gets the FastTrack pass. Okay. So you're looking at 200 to 300 people. So you're going to be up in the front sections of the event, and it's a totally different experience for a number of reasons. One, you're really close to Danny, which is fun because she's super dynamic and she's in the crowd. I mean, she's not just sitting on the stage behind a podium or something like that. She's really involved. So that's a totally different experience. When she's pulling people on the stage to do exercises with, you're much more likely to be able to get on that. But the other thing is you're able to kind of hang out with the top producers, the top money makers in her community and all these different companies. And the conversations you have on the break, the things you're learning from people is a totally different thing. You're not seeing 1,000 people getting up and going to the bathroom. I mean, it's just that you're way more focused. You get a lot more out of that thing. So yes, the information, it's kind of like getting an airplane and getting first class versus regular. You're going to get there at the same time, but it's a way better experience being up in first class. So that's a little bit about FastTrack. It gets you into the room early. You can get down to the line a little bit later. You don't have to be up so early. And the cool thing is once you've got your seat in the morning, then that's your seat all day long.
That is the most awesome thing about this event. I have never been to an event of this kind where it's just so well run. It is a tightly managed ship. She's got a lot of volunteers that help to manage the crowd in the audience. They actually sit in each row, and they make sure that you can't save seats. And you get in, you get your seat. They count after the Fast Pass comes in. They take a minute. They count how many seats are open, and then they bring the other people in. And then once you get your seat for the day, that's your seat. So there's no you can leave for breaks or you can leave for lunch, dinner, whatever. You come back and that's still your seat. So there's no squabbles or anything like that. It's very, very well run event.
Exactly. So, and then also last thing I want to mention, if you are considering bringing your spouse, there's a great add-on price for that. Let me grab that real quick. But it's really inexpensive to add a spouse or a family member. And there are some kids that come to these as well. I think around 12 to 10 to 12 years old, about as young as they
I've seen some young.
Yeah, there's some young ones that come there. Both my kids have been to several events, and around 10 years old, 12 years old, they really started to engage and get a lot from it, which was exciting. So, but as far as bringing your spouse, you can totally do that. We have our Smarter Networker has what's called a full meal deal, which is all 3 days plus the Fast Track all kind of put together as a bundle. You can add a spouse for $425. You can add a spouse, a 3-day spouse for $225 for the whole thing.
Wow.
So yeah, it's not
$225 for all 3 days.
all 3 days.
Wow.
Basic access to the thing, and then there's a 2-day add-on for $150.
Wow, guys, did you guys see that? So I don't know if you're already going, you might want to check with your spouse because $150 to add them on is cheap. I mean, I added on Evan for this reason. He hasn't been before. So I've been to 2 and he's finally coming, but it was $150 to add him on.
Right.
Now I'm probably going to drag him into the Monday one too because I see that's only $225.
Right. Yeah, it's only another $75. So it's a great deal. And it's a totally different. I won't say it's better. It's a different experience with your spouse there.
Yes.
I mean, it's.
I'm curious to know how it's going to go.
Yeah, it'll be good because you make a lot of big decisions at these events, and it's so much better that if you make those decisions. Like for example, okay, we're going to get out of debt. That's. Like I remember, the first event my wife went to a while back, like 3 or 4 years ago now. She made some big decisions there and came back. And we had been to many of these events before, but she went to one by herself and came back and made some big decisions and then told me what we were going to do, right? So when I went back and we made those decisions together, it's a very different thing. Now you're both on board. It's things just go a lot smoother. So
yeah, I can only imagine. You're thinking about. I mean, I know I can imagine because it happened. I wanted to get out of debt and I get home and I'm like, okay, we're gonna be eating out of our pantry and doing all these things. And my husband's like, you're nuts. Like we can afford to buy food. I'm like, yeah, we can, but we need to eat out of our pantry. He's like, no, I don't think so. I'm still gonna eat my taco deli. So it's really good to have them there with you, hearing all of it. You can't convey the same information, so make it your goal at some point to get your spouse there, or maybe your teenager or something. Last time at the October event, I just saw this amazing 17-year-old stand up, and she spent all this time talking to him, and he stood up with his notebook, and he was taking notes as she was talking, and he literally stood there for about 30 minutes because she was talking about a whole bunch of different things in answering his question. He was the most well-mannered 17-year-old I've ever seen, and it was to credit to his mom for bringing him to these events. I think he'd been to multiple events maybe, but I mean, he was so incredibly, polite to her, and it was huge to see that kind of thing coming out of a teenager. It was amazing.
For sure. So let's see. Oh yeah, the add-on just for the 3rd day, if all you're going to do is the 3rd day, is $150. So
oh wow! So you guys, how many of y'all are doing the 2-day and haven't signed up for the 3rd day yet? Because Brian just said the 3rd day is $150 as an add-on. You can just call up Brian or Laura and add for $150, and that's it for the 3rd day. So you might consider adding that on. I'm going to stay now as well because I know there's so many of you guys there, and I want to be there. And Brian's kind of telling me it's a little bit different than what I heard 2 times ago. So I was convicted, and so I'm going to stay for the 3rd day now.
The last thing is the Fast Track it's $200 for that as an add-on item is optional, but and that's for either 2 or 3 days. So it's one Fast Track pass for the whole event, whatever amount you're staying for. So Anyway, you can go over to smarternetworker.com/FSTS for First Steps to Success and see if you haven't yet registered. You can go there. So again, smarternetworker.com/FSTS. And the other one, that if you have questions or want to upgrade or have a question on tickets or whatever, just go over to our website, smarternetworker.com, hit the Contact Us button, and there's several ways to connect with us over there, and we'll be happy to, you can either leave us a voicemail or shoot us an email or something like that. We'll get back to you right away. So, and you're always welcome to call me as well.
Very, very cool. And then when First Steps is done, then kind of what happens? You know, how do people then stay connected with you guys?
Awesome. We cover a lot of that on Monday, but as well as just plugging in, getting plugged into the free 30-day boot camp. I know Lindsay's got some, she really loves the Home Business Success Bundle program and stuff, so we've got some links for that out there. Once you're plugged into Smarter Networker, there's a couple of things we do. You're going to hear a lot from us through email, but also we have a program called Project 1000, which is over on Facebook. We have about 7,200 members of that now, and it's just a great place to talk about how to apply Danny Johnson's training to your business specifically. You guys have an amazing system with Young Living, so it's not, Danny's not going to say, hey, do it differently, do it this way. She's going to give you skills to work your system to the maximum efficiency, and that's what we talk about over at Project 1000. So that's another way to stay plugged in.
Why is it called Project 1000?
It's an interesting question. We have a lot of folks that jump in. In fact, like 96 or 7% of the people in our industry fail. And they've gotten in. I mean, it's sad. It's such a sad thing. And they've not made any money, they're making $100 or something like that every month. And so our goal is to help people make their very first $1,000 in their home-based business or increase their income by $1,000. And that's what Project 1000 is all about. So
cool.
So.
And you're looking to use Periscope with some of
I
that,
am,
right?
I love this. This is so cool. So.
Very cool. So if you guys are not in Project 1000 and you're looking to earn your first $1,000 or maybe boost yourself $1,000, that might be a really interesting thing for you to look into. I think I posted about it before in my group, but if not, I think you can just look for Project 1000 on Facebook. It's a Facebook group.
Yep.
So that is really helpful. I think some of y'all are in there. Yeah. And thank you so much for joining us here today. Do you guys have any questions for either me or Brian about First Steps? I think we've got about 60-something so folks still in here. Do you guys have any more questions? I had told my team also to bring their lunch. Danny always says to bring your lunch to the event, and so why would you do that? Because you don't have a ton of time for lunch, and usually the lunch options at the hotel are super pricey, and otherwise you got to drive off site somewhere, and it's not always the best food around. So for me, it's more just because I can't eat out at chain restaurants and things. So someone just asked, will the event be recorded? It is, and you get the recordings, right?
And last year, Danny started a new thing where all the tickets included the MP3 recording of all 3 days. So whatever day you've paid to come and attend, that's the recording you get. You cannot get the Monday recording without being there. So you've got to be at the event to get the recording. But it's all recorded. You get the recordings included in your ticket price, and it's great because you can go back. You can't take notes fast enough.
No. It's like a fire.
Yeah, it is crazy. You're like this all day long for 3 days, and then you still don't have it all down. So it's great to be able to go back and fill in the blanks and all that stuff. So.
Great.
Question.
Any other questions, folks? If not, then I will go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks, everyone. Oops, here we go. When do they release the next date for the next First Step?
Everybody's all, I'll go to the next one. They don't announce it until at the event. And there's a number of reasons for that. The biggest one is they don't actually know right now. We know the basic general vicinity, but they work really if to negotiate great prices on rooms, hotel rooms, all that kind of stuff. And so many times that takes longer than, like if they booked it a year ago, they wouldn't get nearly as good a price. So, so a lot of times they don't have that information, but the general policies, they'll announce it at on Saturday morning at the event. So that's kind of how it's going on. So
yes.
It will be in March, I can tell you that. But,
March. Woo.
Yeah.
But if you guys are committed and serious and looking to really launch yourselves in 2016, no better time to start than January. So I know it seems kind of hectic right now with the holidays, but come January 1st, you're going to be like talking about New Year's resolutions, and you are going to be stampeding on, and March is going to seem very, very far away.
Yep.
So I highly recommend you do January now. Don't wait, because Brian's saying it's probably going to sell out, and I think he's probably right.
Yep.
Okay, guys, thank you everyone for joining, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining and taking your time today to share with us.
You bet. Thank
Bye.
you. All right, guys. See ya.